Last week I got to play at one of my dream golf courses, which is Sunningdale. I was invited by one of the members of Proper Golfing, and I didn't hit the ball very well all day, and I wanted to figure out what is going on. So I know how I need to swing to hit my best golf shots, but something wasn't happening right on the day. Now, I was definitely relaxed at setup. That was absolutely fine. So I do very occasionally sense that I'm starting to get tight, especially in my left shoulder. So I know that that bit was right. But what I've done is I've videoed myself, and I just wanted to share with you guys what I was seeing happening in my golf swing, because it might be happening in yours and causing you the same problem. So what I didn't have was an understanding of where I was trying to hit the golf ball. I didn't know how to send the golf ball straight. So sometimes I went a bit right, sometimes I went a bit left, and not much in between. And that, as a golfer, as we know, is very, very frustrating. So on the video that I've just done is I've videoed my whole swing. And the first thing that I noticed is my setup was good, but I was just slightly stretching for the golf ball. So I was a little bit too far away from the golf ball. So that's the first thing that I've got correct now. So arms, hips, knees. So now I feel a little bit closer to the golf ball and a little bit taller on it. Now, what was happening in my backswing, as soon as I took the club away, I was using too much forearm rotation, and the club was getting behind my hands and behind my body. So although it didn't look too bad at the top of the backswing, from here I was going to do one of two things. I was either going to bring it down a little bit too flat and block it, or come over the top. So start the downswing, my left shoulder, try and correct the swing path, but now I was going to start pulling the shots off to the left. So the shots that were going to the left with the irons were a little bit, I was hitting a bit more ground than I wanted to, and then the other ones that were going to the right were very thin, and all from the same issue. So what happened, the root cause of it was my backswing. So I wasn't really keeping the club in what I call a neutral position. I was definitely getting too much forearm rotation, getting the club too far behind my hands, but then there was this reroute on the way down, either this way or from the inside. My body angles got a little bit incorrect, left the face open, and then there's the high block. So what I've done is I have analysed it, and now I know where I'm going wrong. So I'm into my good setup, and the first thing that I'm working on now is just keeping the club nice and neutral. So to this point here, I'm looking to get the shaft of the golf club nice and parallel to the club that's on the floor here, which is now more parallel to my ball to target instead of too far behind my hands. So now I'm having to play a bit of recovery. If your timing's good, you can still hit great golf shots, but if your timing's off, as mine was, I wasn't hitting great golf shots. Now, this takes practice, because the habit looks like my habit that's crept in of 40 years of playing golf. I've always had this tendency to get the club a little bit too quickly on the inside. So my new habit now is just to, I don't feel like my hands and forearms are doing anything. I just feel now like I'm turning, and that's moving the club onto a good line here for me. So that's the first thing I want to work on. So the way that I practice that is just some little shots, although I wouldn't normally do it with a driver, but for the sake of this video I will do. So just little shots just that way. Now instantly that felt better off the golf club without even trying to hit it, because I'm not manipulating the golf club back to square. Okay, so I'm into good setup, and I'm just doing these little half backswings straight away. It almost feels like I'm flighting it. I also feel like my body is moving better through impact, because I'm not having to wait for it and manipulate the golf club. I can now start to move my club better. Let's just do that again. Just a little half swing. I'm going to call it a half swing because it's only going halfway back, but I'm going to just call it a turn away and not a rotation with my forearms. So let's just do that one more time. Much, much better. I've also now, in my follow through, difficult to see from there, but I've also got much more width here. I'm not kind of getting trapped. So once And I'm going to practice this a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot. And I'm not really doing much. I'm just turning my body, remember, and don't want to tilt it. So once I've got this bit correct, then it's just a simple wrist cock to the top of the backswing rather than inside and trying to manipulate it. And then the club was getting a bit across the line at the top, which again was making it much harder. So what I then do to start to practice this is turn to here. I'm going to do this really smooth and then just work on my wrist set. So again, I'm just going to tap some, not trying to hit it hard, just smooth, wrist and through. So even that with a little tap shot's gone well over 200 yards, which was quite nice. What I like about this is the cause and effect. If you do one good thing, another good thing's going to start to happen. But it's frustrating, isn't it, when something's going wrong and you just can't put your finger on it. That's why it's so important to video our swings. So it's very different coaching as it is to playing. So when I'm playing, I want to make sure that I'm doing it correctly. The only way I'm going to get better is to practice it properly. Don't practice your mistakes, practice good habits. So I'm going to do this really smooth again, nice and relaxed. Turn, wrist, through. So once I've got my backswing correct for me, so because it was coming inside here, I was then having the tendency of coming over the top or getting stuck on the inside and blocking it. So once I've got this bit correct and set the club here, now from here I want the sensation of one. Now what I mean by that is from the top of the backswing to the finish, one motion. So I'm not trying to get this way, I'm not coming over that way where I come down and then it feels like two. So once I'm in a really good position at the top, now I can let my swing flow. Now this might not go correct, but so the backswing I'm going to do it much slower than normal. For me, it's just a feeling, remember, it's not necessarily fact. Feels much slower for me. Turn, then let it go. Now that one's gone with about a 3-yard fade, but a glorious golf shot for me. And that actually felt like I could direct my golf ball instead of hoping it was going to target. So let me do that again. That's my cure. So my issue was, so what I'll do, I'll just do this incorrectly now. So way too much forearm rotation in my backswing. And there's that horrible shot that's gone miles left. So I just felt from there, I was just coming straight over the top. Just felt dreadful. Hate that shot. I'm not doing that again. So if I came here and then got stuck on the inside, so I'll hit another bad shot from here, and now I'll get stuck on the inside. I've got much more shoulder tilt when I'm hitting this one. Inside. And there's the high right one. So I couldn't transfer my weight very well. I felt I really got stuck. Just a horrible high block. Those shots are annoying to me. So into good posture, I'm keeping the backswing smooth. So I don't mind a little bit, but what I don't want to do is get my club miles too far behind me. So I'm just trying to start the backswing much, much smoother. Feels like my hands are out of the equation. Little bit snatched, so it sent it a touch too far left. Oop. So still not right. So dare we say work in progress. But what I'm going to do over the next week or so, I'm just going to keep videoing myself, making sure that I'm getting the start of my backswing correct. So if the start's wrong, the rest is going to be wrong somewhere else in the swing. So just keep working on really good habits. Okay, nice and relaxed. Better. So it feels like it's starting a bit straighter, slightly lower ball to flight for me, but I've got to get rid of this habit of whipping it on the inside. For me, just keeping good habits, then my body's moving much more efficiently. So I just thought I'd share this with you guys, so people think that, you know, we're on here and we do it perfect every time. Not the case. We're all human beings. We've all got hypermobile bodies, so lots of moving parts in it. Things can go wrong. The important thing is about checking it, making sure you're doing it properly. And if you don't know what you're doing, come to a pro. So, you know, I'm more than happy to help you guys. So I set up Proper Golfing, where I can help people all over the world. But, you know, if you're in the UK, or you fancy a trip to the UK to come and see me, by all means, drop me a message, julian@propergolfing.com. Always happy to help any golfer out there. So hope this has helped, and hope you've enjoyed and learnt a little bit from it. Take care. Bye.